A lot of people, black, white, Mexican, young or old, fat or skinny, have a problem being true to themselves. They have a problem looking in the mirror and looking directly into their own souls. Around the reason I am who I am today is because I can look directly into my face and find my soul.
¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos a otro video. Hace mucho tiempo que no hago ni un video, but welcome back to my channel. I have a visitor today.
Hello.
I have my husband joining us today. Mi esposo nos está acompañando el día de hoy. Pues que ni saben qué, les vamos a contar de nuestra historia, cómo nos conocimos. So, yeah.
I know
welcome,
some of what
husband.
she said.
He's learning.
I'm learning. I ain't there yet.
Yeah, but he's doing really good. So, yeah, today we're doing something a little different. We are telling our story on how the Lord wrote our love story. So, introduce yourself.
So, my name is Mason. And,
are you sure it's not Major?
She should tell you about that. I told her my name, but she called me Major, and I
heard Major. I don't know why.
But I actually thought she was just being, because my last name is Minor, so some people would joke, and instead of calling me Minor, they would call me Major. So I thought she was just, I was like, okay, cool. So that went on for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I thought his name was Major. And then one day I even called you Major, and you're like, didn't say anything, so.
I was like, cool, you can call me whatever you want to call me. So yeah, that went on for about 2 weeks. And, but anyway, my name is Mason, and I am Miriam's wife, of course, or husband. Oh my gosh. Am I nervous or something? I'm shaking.
Nervous.
But
girl got him a mamacita. Ay, mami. Yeah, so today we're gonna do a reaction to this video. So apparently, these two are husband and wife, and the title of the video is "How God Wrote Our Love Story." And it also says, waited to kiss till marriage. So in other words, homie wasn't able to open that door until he put a ring on her finger. He wasn't able to test drive the car before he bought it. Okay? This is a woman with rules. So he had to put in work. It is what it is. Let's get into it.
but no, I'm a filmmaker and also have a podcast. And yeah, that's about it.
You should go follow his page. It's tell them what it's called.
My podcast is called Clean Inside Podcast. So
really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. So especially if you're like into deliverance and all of that, I suggest you go follow his page.
Quick little plug right there.
Link it down so you guys can just click and go. So yeah.
But anyway, I guess since we are telling the love story, first thing we need to get out the way is that she hit up my DMs first on Instagram.
Nah. Mentiroso. Babe.
What?
Let's be real here.
We're telling the truth, right?
Yeah, we're telling the truth.
She was all in.
Damn, she said, let's be real here. I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Okay?
My DMs. Talking about some hola papi.
No. You know, as girls that are like waiting on the Lord, hello, we don't do that, right?
Facts. So, okay, so I guess I'll start off since I did reach out first.
No, he slid into my DMs on Instagram.
I did. So we were listening to the same sermon. And I had been working on cleaning up my Instagram, and so I wanted to get a lot more Christian content and Christian people on there. So I would just go through and I was friending everybody, and I ended up seeing her. I was like, oh, she's cute, and okay, Christian too. So I was like, cool. I friended her, and she ended up friending me back, or following me back since we're on Instagram, right? Yeah. And so she follows me back, And you know, I actually started looking at her page at this point, and I'm like, oh, okay. So then I hit her up and I'm like, well, you know, how did you find me on Instagram? And she's like, what'd you say, babe?
I was like, first of all, I was super annoyed because I usually don't respond. I usually don't respond to anybody because I'm like, I just don't, you know? And here's this cocky guy that's saying, how did you find me? When he was the one that friended me, and I was
So
just
cocky.
annoyed. I was like he added me. Like, what the heck? You're lucky I didn't go off on you.
I guess so. I don't know. I was just trying to get some conversation started. So, but
Yeah.
it worked. You
It
know,
worked.
it worked. And so we just.
She can't let this man live. This man can't get away with nothing. Okay? She want to make it very clear that, hey, this guy was chasing me. I never chased him. She's making that very clear.
We just started conversating, and you know, we talked on Instagram for a little while, and then one day I was making. I've been wanting to make enchiladas, and so I figured like, maybe I call her. So I'm not sure how I got her number. I'm not sure how that
I
went
don't know how
about.
that happened either.
Yeah, but at some point we must have exchanged numbers or something. And so I ended up calling her and it's like, hey, I had a quick question for you. I was wondering if you knew how to make enchiladas. And so, you know, we didn't talk about enchiladas for long. Pretty quickly, we were talking about all kind of other stuff. And
at first we were always talking about Jesus though.
Yeah. No, it was always about Jesus.
All
for
about
sure.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like before we started talking
testimony
on the phone.
type stuff.
Yeah.
We talked on Instagram for, you know, a good month or something like that, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened after that?
Yeah, but at first,
damn, she had that man in the DMs for a month. Ooh-wee. My man was putting in work.
first, I didn't really even see him like that. I was just like, you know, I was like, I will never date a black guy. I was like, no way.
Right.
I did. I was just like, no. At first,
So what happened after that?
Yeah, but at first, I didn't really even see him like that. I was just like, you know, I was like, I will never date a black guy. I was like, no way.
Right.
I did. I was just like, no way, I did not. Like, I was just talking to you about Jesus, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
But she thought I was cute.
I mean, he was all right. He was all right. I'm just kidding. You're cute. I mean,
Bro, this sounds like Travis Hunter's situation. Wow. No, I gotta take this back, bro. This is crazy. She made that very clear. And it sounds just like Travis Hunter's girl. At first, I never saw him like that, you know. He's a black guy. I'm not into black guys. This is wild.
Right. I did. I was like, I will never. At first, yeah.
So what happened after that?
Yeah, but at first, I didn't really even see him like that. I was just like, you know, I was like, I will never date a black guy. I was like, no way.
Right.
Damn, she said never. No way. This is crazy. Off rip. Peep game, right? So she waited until they were married to give him a kiss. And she made it very clear that before he married her, she never dated a black guy and she never saw him like that. Wow, this is crazy.
I did. I was just like, no way, I did not. Like, I was just talking to you about Jesus, and that was it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
But she thought I was cute. She must have
I mean,
thought
he was all right. He was all right. I'm just kidding. You're cute. I mean, I was like, yeah, he's cute, you know, and then he was funny, so I was like, okay, you know, but yeah, I didn't really see him like
He was funny. He's a comedian? Yo, this is crazy.
that, you know, and then until the enchilada thing, I was like, okay. I think it changed it after we
Oh yeah,
started
me
talking.
cooking enchiladas.
No, it wasn't the enchiladas, baby.
Oh.
It was after like we were talking.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, okay, yeah,
Yo.
this guy's cool.
Tell me why love can't always be this easy. Time seems to stand still when you're
What like I liked about him, it was that he fasted.
Oh, I was fasting at
Yeah.
that time. I was doing like a 30-day fast.
See, like me, I always wanted a Hispanic man on fire, so I didn't think Americans fasted. I didn't think that I didn't think Americans were like serious about God. And I wanted a spirit-filled man of God. I wanted a man on fire for Jesus because I didn't want anything outside of him. And the funny part about it was,
Yo, nah. The disrespect is too much, bro. She's telling you she never wanted you. She wanted an Hispanic man on fire. Come on, brother. This is crazy. It almost seems like she only give him the time of day because he was willing to marry her. Wow.
that for so many years, I actually it was like I was trying to control that part of my life. And every year I would be like, this is my year. I'm getting married this year. But I didn't say that this year. Well, actually last year,
2022. Yeah.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually surrendered that part of my life in April. I came to the conclusion that I was like, you know what, Lord, I am done. Like take control in this area of my life too. I want you to find the one that's for me. You know what's best for me and Devaney.
Bro.
And it was good to let it go.
And that what? This is crazy.
I want you to find the one that's for me. You know what's best for me and Devaney.
So she got a kid. Yo, this is what I'm saying, bro. It's only a bird who will get on a podcast or a YouTube video and speak about her relationship like this, bro. Fellas, the hoops never fails, bro. This right here is crazy. This is a woman who was desperately looking for a husband. That's all this really was, bro. Wow. Let's continue, man. This is too much to unpack right now. Let's continue, man.
And it was good to let it go because if you're Hispanic and you know. But whenever you go to all these like church events, you're like, where's my husband? I mean, I used to do that. Yeah. Did you ever do that?
No.
No?
Nope. I never wanted a husband ever.
You know?
You said husband.
Well, I mean, did you do that like when it comes to I did that, like I would be like, man, where's my husband? Right. Like especially whenever I would go to Hispanic churches, I'd be like, where's my husband?
No, I don't think I worry about it too much.
No.
But, yeah. I wanted my wife though.
Yeah.
I was looking for her.
But I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's a girl thing, you know, where you're just like, you just I don't know. Because my sister does that too. Mm-hmm. I know other girls that do it. They're like, Igor is my husband. But yeah, like it was so good to just like surrender that part of my life to God. And that was in April, and we met like in June.
Yeah, I think it was June.
Yeah.
Stand still when you're standing near me. I've spent my whole life second guessing everything, but now I'm sure.
So actually, I wanted to come up to Missouri to see her, and so here's what I did. I was telling her, because I had went to camp in Missouri. Actually, I gave my life to Christ in Missouri, in Branson, Missouri, at a camp called Kids Across America, KAA. You know. So that was a thing we did over there. So anyway, over there they have they picked me to go speak at another camp called Kanakuk. And so I would go over there and tell my testimony. But on the way there, they were like, hey, we're going to stop and let you taste a Thunder Muffin. And so we went to this place called Pymington Farm or something like that, or Primson Farm. I forget what it's called right now, but it's a blueberry farm in Missouri. And so I was like, hey, have you ever been there? She hadn't been there. So that was kind of my end. I was like, hey, I've been wanting to go there for a long time. So when I come up to Missouri, hey, we should go check out this blueberry farm. So that was the thing. And I was going on a family vacation to Oklahoma. We were just going to spend some time with my sisters, my mom, my grandma. We were all just going to go and get a cabin in Oklahoma.
I remember you invited
relax.
me.
And I did invite her over because we had extra room. So
I was like, I am not gonna go to Oklahoma with a total stranger.
Right.
I
did ask though. I was like, hey, my whole family will be there, so it's it'll be safe and you're not gonna be just alone or anything. So so I just invited her just to see what she'd say. And even though I knew it was gonna be a no. Since I was going to Oklahoma, I'm like, man, I'm basically halfway to Missouri, so I could just extend my vacation a little bit and leave Oklahoma, go to Missouri. So I was trying to figure that whole thing out, and my car breaks down. So, and everything is so different now as far as, going on a train, going on a plane. Everything's so much more expensive. And so not only did my car break down, I'm going to have to get a new car, and then I have all these travel plans. And so I'm like, what am I going to do?
I remember you said, you're like, shoot, I'll take a bus if I have to.
Yeah, I was like, because that's what I was like, I could figure it out. Maybe I could take a taxi to here, get a bus to here, train to here. You know what I mean? I was just trying to figure it out. And so God worked it out. And my mom, she actually had a guy that had a car lot. And we were there, and all of a sudden, the car that what he told us was, oh man, I never thought about selling this car until I talked to you guys. And so he had this SUV family vehicle that he was willing to sell to me, and I was able to get the car, and I got in the car, and as soon as I got in the car, I wasn't thinking about her at all. I was like, great, just I got a car, I can do everything I need to do. And I just hear the Holy Spirit say, go get your woman. And I was like, what? I was like, for real, Lord? And so that happened. And, I just kind of, sometimes you hear the Lord say stuff and you're like, you just kind of wait to see what happens, right? So
let me get this straight. So you heard God telling you, go get a woman that doesn't want you. You see, here's the thing. Like, when a man is a sucker for love, like when he's a simp, he's also a male version of a bird. A sucker and a simp is equivalent to a bird. So a man like this might be a bit delusional. He's just thirsty. He probably just likes Spanish women. And he probably just trying to get some box. That's really all it is. But he's going to lie to himself. Yo, God told me to go get my wife. Really, bro? Like a woman that you just met on Instagram. That's your wife. You never spend time with her. You don't even know nothing about her past. This is wild, man.
I hear that and I'm like, all right. And before this, I kind of knew. You know, I guess the Lord had just put stuff in your spirit. You just kind of know stuff. And so I kind of had a knowing that there was something deeper here. And so I even, told my sister, I was like, while we were at the cabin, like, I think she might be the one. She loves the Lord. We're on the same page when it comes to our faith. Like, we're both like growing in the Lord. So it was cool. And so we do our trip in Oklahoma. I go to Missouri, and I come to her house, and then what happens?
Well, let me go back. See, the whole time that this was going on and we were talking and stuff, I had peace about it. I think like I had peace from the Lord about just talking to him, because I've never had that peace before. I always had like doubts and just like, I don't know, it was just like always there. But whenever it came to you, it was just like all this peace. And I mean, like before I even like, accepted him coming over there, I prayed about it. Because I was like,
she's letting complete strangers come over her house.
I know. I was actually thinking about that before you were like 5 minutes away, and I started getting so nervous. I mean, my stomach, I was getting all these butterflies, and I was just like, what the heck? And I'm like, I'm literally just having some strange guy come to my house. And so before I used to be really and I'm like, I'm literally just having some strange, like, what the heck? And I'm like, I'm literally just having some strange guy.
Damn. Say it, man. Let it out. Some strange black guy. That's pretty much what she was trying to say. But she caught herself. This right here is wild. And look, fellas, never think that you're special, bro. If she allow you to come to her house, a complete stranger, she did it before. Don't think you're the only guy that she invited to a house like that. This is a chick that you met on Instagram. Okay? Just saying. But nah, this right here is wild, bro. Check it out.
The heck? And I'm like, I'm literally just having some strange guy come to my house. And so before I used to be really kind of like, I didn't like people knowing where I lived. And it was just kind of like a safety thing because we used to get followed and stuff. And I was like, I am literally a safety thing because we used to get followed and stuff. And
what is you into? We used to get followed. This is what I'm saying, bro. The signs are always there, bro. You let these women talk and they will tell you everything. They will even tell you too much. That's all you gotta do. Just sit back and listen. What type of shit is you into, lady? We used to get stalked? What type of dudes you been messing with? This is wild.
I was like, I am literally about to have this stranger come to my house. And I was like, Santo, ¿qué hice? But no, like I just had all this peace about him and stuff, and it was good. Like I just felt peace and everything. God was so good. So yeah, he came up to my door, and what happened?
I forget. I think she was like, dang, you fine.
No, actually, you know what? The first thing in my mind, I was like, oh, he's actually cute. No, I did. I was like, because he came in with this big old smile, and I have this thing for smiles.
He's cute for a black guy. That's funny.
Smiles. And he just came up, and he was super tall, and and yeah, it was just like cool.
But I'll always be right there to hold you. I promise that I'm gonna love you as long as.
So we spent some time together that first day. I forget what I think I took her out to eat. We went to go eat, and we were just talking and stuff like that. And and that was
Okay, fellas. Birds love to go out to eat, bro. But I tell you guys all the time, don't feed the birds. Hey, don't feed the birds, but you'll love to feed the birds, man.
Was that for the first day, and then the second day, I forget what we did.
I think we went to the muffin place.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
did end up going to the blueberry farm. See,
Yeah.
I wasn't just bluffing.
Look at your boy. Look at your boy playing stepdad already. The second day, this man is. Yo, nah. Hey, listen, man, fellas. It tells a lot about a woman who will have a stranger around her child within the second day or maybe the first day of meeting him. A real protective mother will not bring some stranger around a child, especially a daughter. This is wild, bro.
So it was funny because I ended up living not too far from there.
Yeah, we were about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yeah. So it was dope. Had a great time at the blueberry
Yeah,
farm,
it was
and
so
that
cool.
was really fun. Definitely loved it.
Oh yeah, another thing. Okay, about the third day.
Oh yeah.
I remember the third day. Okay, so back in April. So okay, there's this place that is called Top of the Rock. I have been trying to go to Top of the Rock for like 3 years.
Funny, man.
And every single time I would try to go there, something would happen.
When she means try to go there, somebody was trying to take her on a date.
Yeah. But then like things didn't happen. I would always pray about it and God would be like, no. Or I would always like have that, I would always have so many questions and I would always like have fear. That's when, you know, whenever with him, it was like, it was different because there was so much peace about it. And any other time it was just like, no, you know, and then I would end up not going. I even tried to go with like all these, it was like a women's prayer group and we were all going to go. And then I was like super excited because I was going to end up going there. And then they ended up canceling. And I was like, okay, I am done trying to go to Top of the Rock. I said this in April. And I was like, okay, Lord, you know what? Like, whenever I end up going to Top of the Rock, I want to go there with my husband. And this was just like a, you know, a thing that I told the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually ended up taking me to Top of the Rock. Like, did I tell you did I tell you about that?
She mentioned it in some of our conversations. She had just mentioned this place, Top of the Rock, and she was like, "Oh yeah, it's a place I had always wanted to go or whatever." And so I just kind of tucked that in my back pocket, and I was like, "Okay, you know."
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think you knew that I had told the Lord that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the whole time we were driving there, like it was just in my mind. I was like, like, is this really happening? And I was like kind of waiting for something to happen because I was like, if this isn't my husband, we're about to get a flat tire or something's going to happen. Like, we're not going to make it there, you know? And then like, it was so crazy. Like the whole
I'd have
time.
been mad.
That is crazy, bro. Putting out bad energy to the universe. Why? Because you desperately want a husband. This shit, I'm telling you all, bro, this shit is down near sorcery, bro. Witchcraft shit, bro. That's what this type of shit is, fam. This is crazy.
Yeah, that'd have been a new car too. Got a flat tire.
Yeah, but I mean, God had to just like do His thing, you
Right,
know.
right.
So it was so cool, like just being there, and I was like the whole time I was just like, oh my gosh, could this be my husband? You know, I was like, I think this is my husband, and they have like this whole chapel there, and I was like, remember I was like, so would you want to get married? Do you think you want to get married inside or outside? And you said, I don't know, whatever we like. And I was like, Santo.
I told you, I kind of knew, you know.
Yeah, but it was so cool. Like I had a really good time.
Yeah, it was
while
fun.
you were there, getting to know you and stuff. And it was cool. I didn't want him to leave, but I had to act cool, you know. I was like, all right, whatever.
Well, I didn't even leave that day. We went to church the next day, and they had some really good prices on boat rentals, and so I rented a boat, and we got on the boat, and we hung out on the boat for the rest of that day.
Yeah.
And so I was about to leave and go back. I'm a bad night driver sometimes. So I was like, can I just stay and just take a nap for a little while? And
Come on, bro. You was trying to smack some, bro. I mean, you've been spending mad money. Taking her here, taking her there, renting boats. It's like shit. It's the least that she could do. Give you some box. It's the least she could do, bro. But look at her face, though. Look at that face, fellas. Mm-mm-mm. So, my man is trying to get some box on the slick. Oh, yeah, I'm tired, man. You gotta beg, bro? You gotta beg after you done did all that? This is crazy, man. This is wild. This bird is cold, man. This is a cold, fellas. Pay attention to the eyes, bro. If around her eyes are dark. Come on, bro.
Can I just stay and just take a nap for a little times? So I was about to leave and go back. I'm a bad night driver sometimes.
He's a bad night driver. Sometimes, though. Not all the times. Sometimes. But this time, I'm a bad night driver. So can I just crash a little bit? Damn, bro. This is sad, man.
So I was like, can I just stay and just take a nap for a little while? And somehow we ended up holding hands,
Yeah.
And when we held hands,
I was about to go to my room when you're like, no, stay here.
Yeah.
And I was like, say no more.
Yeah, right. So she stayed, and we were just on the living room couch or whatever. And we ended up holding hands. And like, I don't get many visions, but I got this vision of our hands like coming together. And apparently I started shaking.
He started shaking. Freaked me out. I mean, I have this guy in my living room that starts shaking. I'm like, is he ODing or something?
We didn't take no drugs, I promise. And so I seen this vision of us. It was just a dark, environment, and our hands like came together, like boom. And I just felt like this surge of like just love just fall over me. And, and it wasn't like God's love, it wasn't like the presence of God, but it was just like the earthly love, like man, if you could just love anybody like this much, like this is what it feels like. And so I was just overflowing with love in that moment, and it was just like and I was like, whoa. So I think I ended up kind of telling her that vision at that moment. I think I did.
Yeah, you did, because I was freaked out because you were shaking.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you okay?
Yeah. So that was also weird. So yeah, that was that. And then so I came home, and we kept talking and stuff. And
what the, bro? Nah, bro. This man did all that and couldn't even get a kiss on the cheek. All he got was hold hands. That's all he was able to do, was hold this woman's hands. This is unbelievable, bro. This man is different. I ain't never heard that. It's like I held her hand and it's like, ah. The man said, ah. Like, yo, that's wild, bro. He down there got off from holding her hands. Like, yo, she probably was laughing at this dude. Like, yo, he for sure finna marry me. That's what she was thinking, man. She was like, ooh, I got me one. I got me a sucker. Nah, this is wild. Yo, listen to this man. Seriously, listen to this dude.
So that was also weird.
Are you okay? Yeah, because I was freaked.
I ended up kind of telling her that vision, like, whoa. and I was like,
Oh,
whoa.
no, this is wild.
And like, so I was just overflowing with, you could just love anybody. It was just like the most God's love, you know. It wasn't like the present, you know, it felt like, and our hands like came together, you know, like boom. And I just felt like this surge of like just together, you know, like boom. And environment, and our hands like came together, you know, like boom. And I just felt like this surge of like just love just fall over me, you know. And it wasn't like God's love, you know. It wasn't like the presence of God, but it was just like the earthly love, like man, if you could just love anybody like this much, like this is what it feels like. And so I was just overflowing with love in that moment, and it was just like and I was like, it was just like much like this is what it feels.
Look at her face, man. She's laughing at this dude, bro. She's laughing at this dude right now because she knows, dog. All you wanted was some box. That's all you wanted, fam. But instead, all she did was hold your hand. That is wild, bro.
It was like, so I was just overflowing with love in that moment, and it was just like and I was like, whoa. So I think I ended up kind of telling her that vision at that moment. I think I did.
Yeah, you did, because I was freaked out because
Sad,
you
bro.
were shaking.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you okay?
Yeah. So that was also weird. So yeah, that was that. And then so I came home, and you know, we kept talking and stuff. And
there may be some days when things don't go exactly how we planned.
So now the Lord also, she didn't mention this, the Lord also had been dealing with her about moving to Dallas.
Oh, that's what I was going to go back to. Yeah, so, okay. There for like, I think it was 2 weeks in, before I even knew he existed. I had a vision about moving to Dallas. I don't know anybody in Dallas. I don't know like one person that lives there. And so I have this vision, and I was seeking the Lord about it. So after I got my fourth confirmation about moving to Texas, that's when he slides into my DMs. And what was so shocking to me was that he was from Texas. Like, I was blown away because I had just gotten my fourth confirmation, and the next day that's when he reached out to me and he asked me where I was from, and I asked him where he was from, and he was from Dallas, Texas. And I was just blown away. I was just like, what in the world? Like, it was just shocking to me because I didn't know anybody, and I already knew I was moving there. And there's this handsome dark chocolate chocolate that like reaches out to me, and he happens to be from Dallas. And the crazy thing about it too was that after he came back to Texas, I started going to like my normal prayer meetings, and I started getting all these prophecies about my husband. Even one of the ladies was like, she came up to me and she was like,
I can't, man. Anyway, look, fellas, be careful out here, bro. Understand that, because here's a life of a bird. A bird will play the streets, right? But she probably gonna reach a point where she desperately wants a husband. And if that means she gotta find God to get a husband, that's what she's gonna do. So a bunch of these birds, and I'm keeping it real, I'm pretty sure she's one of them. So a bunch of these birds, if you look into their past, they've probably been in the streets, because it's a reason why she's a single mother, right? Because if she was this big holy chick, she would be married right now, okay? But she reached a point where she desperately wants a husband, and that's her main objective. So she's out here trying to find a sucker who's going to marry her, right? And here comes this sucker who, even though she told him like, yo, you're not really my type. I'm not into black guys. I like Hispanic guys. He didn't think anything of it. because he's a sucker for love from her. So then all of a sudden she's like, oh man, God told me this and God told me that. And listen, bro, the thing about a bird, like when a bird thrives in delusion, a bird will think something and then say, yo, this is what God told me. Once you hear a woman start talking about, yo, God told me this, and God told, that woman is delusional. And she's thriving in her delusion. And a bird will blame God for everything. Fellas, be wise out here, bro. The signs are always there. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. If you guys enjoy the content, don't forget to like and subscribe so we can continue to build and grow the platform. It's your boy AyeQ, and I'm out. Peace. This is what you imagine him being in a hospital trying to deal with COVID, and the baby's coming out. Fellas, again, focus on yourself. That's what it is.